Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the hottest crypto trends to help you stay ahead of the game. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We've got game-changing insights coming your way every week. Today, we're talking about Ethereum's massive upgrades on the horizon and the wild ride with ETF flows. Stick around because by the end of this, you'll know exactly why ETH could be primed for a breakout in 2026. And I'll share my top tips on how to position yourself. Let's jump right in. First off, let's set the stage. Ethereum is the backbone of decentralized finance, NFTs, and so much more in crypto, but it's not standing still. The devs are constantly evolving it to make it faster, cheaper, and more scalable. Right now, as we wrap up 2025, the buzz is all about two major upgrades slated for 2026. Glamsterdam and Hegota. These aren't just minor tweaks, they're game changers that could supercharge Ethereum's performance and attract even more institutional money. If you're wondering why this matters to your portfolio, keep listening. I'll explain how these could flip the script on ETH's price action. Let's start with Glamsterdam. This upgrade is expected to roll out in the first half of 2026, around mid-year. What's it all about? Well, it's focused on boosting the execution layer. That's the part of Ethereum that actually runs smart contracts and processes transactions. One of the key features here is introducing parallel processing. Think of it like upgrading from a single-lane road to a multi-lane highway. Right now, Ethereum handles transactions one after another, which can cause backups during peak times. With parallel processing, multiple transactions can happen at the same time without stepping on each other's toes. That means faster speeds and lower fees, which is huge for everyday users and big players alike. But it doesn't stop there. Glamsterdam is also set to enhance privacy and decentralization. For example, it could include better tools for zero-knowledge proofs, which let you prove something is true without revealing all the details. Perfect for keeping your transactions private while still being secure on the blockchain. And on the scalability front, we're talking about pushing Ethereum towards handling up to 10,000 transactions per second or more, when combined with Layer 2 solutions like Optimism or Arbitrum. If you've been frustrated with high gas fees during bull runs, this is the fix you've been waiting for. Imagine DeFi apps running smoother, more dApps launching without bottlenecks. It's going to make Ethereum even more attractive for builders and investors. Now, why should you care about this as an investor? Upgrades like this have historically pumped ETH's price. Remember the merge back in 2022 that shifted Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake and sent prices soaring. Glamsterdam could do the same, especially with the market recovering from the dips we've seen in late 2025. But don't just take my word for it. Analysts are already predicting ETH could break $5,000 again if these upgrades deliver. If you're holding ETH or thinking about buying the dip, this is your cue to pay attention. We'll circle back to how ETF flows tie into this later, so stay tuned. Moving on to the second big one, Hegota. This upgrade is planned for later in 2026, following Glamsterdam, and it's all about tackling some of Ethereum's longest-standing issues, like state bloat and those pesky fees. State bloat? That's when the blockchain gets overloaded with data from years of transactions, making it harder and more expensive to run nodes. Hegota aims to prune that excess data, kind of like cleaning out your garage so everything runs more efficiently. This will lower the barriers for people to run their own nodes, boosting decentralization and making the network more resilient. On the fee side, Hegota is targeting dynamic pricing models that adjust based on demand, but in a way that's fairer and more predictable. No more getting hit with surprise $50 fees for a simple swap. Plus, it's building on Glamsterdam's work to push for even better integration with Layer 2s, potentially bringing gas costs down to pennies. Developers have confirmed this in recent core dev meetings. It's official, and the roadmap is locked in. If Ethereum pulls this off, it could seriously challenge competitors like Solana, which has been stealing the spotlight with its speed. But Ethereum has the edge in security and ecosystem size, over 4,000 dApps and billions in TVL. Solana's great for memes and quick trades, but Ethereum's upgrades could make it the go-to for serious institutional stuff. Speaking of institutions, Let's shift gears to ETF flows because this is where the rubber meets the road. Ethereum ETFs launched in 2024 and really took off in 2025, pulling in a whopping $9.9 billion in inflows for the year. That's massive. It shows big money from Wall Street is finally treating ETF like a legitimate asset class, right alongside Bitcoin. But lately, things have gotten choppy. As of December 2025, we're seeing outflows. Just look at the numbers. On December 24th alone, spot Ethereum ETFs saw net outflows of about $52.7 million. Grayscale's ETH led the pack with $33.78 million exiting, and overall, December's on track for negative flows after November's $1.42 billion out. Why the outflows? Holiday season plays a part. Traders are de-risking ahead of Christmas and New Year's, trimming positions in a thin market. Bitcoin ETFs are seeing similar pain, with $175 million out on the same day. But Ethereum's getting hit harder because of price stagnation below $3,000. ETH is hovering around $2,900 to $3,000 right now, testing support levels, and that selling pressure is capping any short-term bounces. The Fear and Greed Index is in fear territory at 23, which screams caution. But here's the silver lining, and why you shouldn't panic sell. These outflows are temporary. Earlier in 2025, we had huge inflows driving ETH up, and with upgrades like Glamsterdam coming, institutions could flood back in. Think about it. Faster, cheaper Ethereum means more adoption, more TVL in DeFi, and higher demand for ETF. Analysts from places like Be Crypto and Bankless are saying the same. Hegota could address state bloat enough to boost efficiency by 2027, making ETF a must-have for portfolios. Plus, rotations are happening. While ETH and BTC ETFs bleed, Solana and XRP are seeing inflows, like $1.48 million for SOL and $11.93 million for XRP on December 24th. Capital isn't leaving crypto, it's just shifting. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, but what does this mean for my trades? Let's break it down. Short term, ETH might retest $2,198 support, but long-term holders are accumulating. On-chain data shows whales borrowing and buying despite the dips. My prediction? Post-upgrades, ETH could hit $5,000 by end of 2026, especially if macro conditions improve with Fed cuts. Compare that to Solana. SOL's fast, but Ethereum's upgrades could close the gap while keeping its blue-chip status. Don't sleep on this. Start researching layer 2s like Base or Polygon to get in early. To keep your retention high, let's pause for a quick poll. In the comments, tell me, are you bullish on ETH for 2026 or do you think Solana will flip it? Drop your thoughts below and I'll shout out the best ones in my next video. That interaction helps the algorithm, so let's make this community thrive. Now, tying it all together. Upgrades plus ETF flows. Potential explosion. Glamsterdam and Hegota aren't just tech jargon, they're catalysts for real growth. With ETF outflows now, this could be your dip buying opportunity before the hype builds. But always, do your own research and consider dollar cost averaging to smooth out volatility. Before we wrap up, if this video helped you understand Ethereum better, smash that like button. It really supports the channel. And if you're serious about crypto, subscribe and hit the bell for more deep dives like this. Share this with a friend who's into EAF. Let's spread the knowledge. In the description, I've linked resources on the upgrades and real-time ETF trackers so you can stay updated. One last CTA, comment below with your ETH price prediction for 2026 and let's discuss. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay smart, stay invested.